Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. My name is Marilyn Navy, and I'm part of the team bringing you this service today, along with Carol Wolf and Dan Summer. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, whoever you love, and whatever your faith tradition, you are welcome here at the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. While we are a faith with no dogma, our faith affirms and promotes principles grounded in the teachings of world religion and humanistic philosophy. As Unitarian Universalists, we're more interested in acting to make the world better than arguing over specific beliefs. We are a religious community with a strong call to love, to justice, to reason, and without one central creed. To quote Andrea Lerner, former UU administrator, our faith is not interested in saving your soul. We are here to help you unfold the awesome soul you already have. In our congregation, you will likely meet as many agnostics, atheists, and humanists as you will folks from more traditional backgrounds. We are a faith constantly evolving, seeking ways to create a world with justice and compassion, protecting equality for all. We are also a group of seekers, lifelong learners, and keen coffee drinkers. We come together to support and encourage each other to not just speak our truths, but to live them openly with love. You make a difference, and we thank you for being with us this morning. If you want to know more about the congregation, who we are, and what we do, please make sure you sign the book in the foyer in Anderson, or fill out the form that is being dropped in the chat on Zoom. There will be a lunch after the service today for fellowship and to supercharge the kickoff of our annual pledge drive. Please join in. Or for those on Zoom, remain online for a brief chat. And please, don't forget to silence your phones so that we can truly be present to one another. Today, we are here to delve into our spiritual, social, and inspiring connections to the arts. Art can bring both comfort and challenge, beauty and meaning. It has the ability to awaken us to our capacities to make a difference in our own lives and in the world. Let's explore. Our opening hymn is number 305 in the Gray Hymnal, De Colores.
Hello, my name is Jean Short, and I'm a member of the Art Committee. Please make yourself comfortable as we take this time to calm the spirit and focus the breath. Let yourself relax, taking a nice, slow, deep breath, and then let it out. Breathe in and out. Deep, slow. Breathing in and breathing out. And let your bodies relax, let your muscles relax, let your face relax, let your mind relax. Whatever you've been carrying around all this morning that you don't need right now, let it go. Let all of your body, mind, and spirit deeply and fully relax. Keep breathing. And now, in your mind's eye, imagine a place that you love, a place where you feel love, a place that's special, a place that feels safe and happy. And it might be a real place that you know from your own experiences. It might be somewhere you've seen in a picture or that you've heard about. It might be somewhere imaginary. Wherever it is, whatever it is. Call it to mind, try to see, to feel, all the little details. And now, and when you feel that you've noticed all there is to see about this place, imagine that next to you there is a large basket that's full of paper and crayons and chalk and paints and clay and every other kind of artistic media you ever thought of. And imagine that in this special place, you know you have the ability to create. So create. Draw a picture, or paint, or sculpt, or do whatever it is that you feel called to do. But try to capture the sights, the sounds, the mood, the feel of the place. Take your time. You can do it. You have no limitations. It's as if the artistic expression is making itself. Now, bring the piece you've been working on to a close. Step back and look at it. Take in what you've created, and slowly, as you're ready, come back to this room and open your eyes.
Like I was saying, when you heard what Ron was playing, and I hope you did, felt a little excited, maybe a little tingly. Maybe your heart beat a little bit faster. And what we were supposed to see was Leonard Bernstein on Christmas Day, 1989, commemorating the fall of the Berlin Wall in Berlin. Bernstein changed the title of the composition from Ode to Joy to Ode to Freedom for the occasion. And not only did this particular concert rejoice in freedom, but people all over the world could feel joyfully connected, not only with musicians and chorus, but with each other and with an ideal. From earliest times, music and art have played a central role in human existence, whether it be for celebration or sorrow, to convey meaning and message, or to reflect beauty or grief. From cave paintings to Banksy's street art, from rhythmic tapping on empty boards, to complex orchestral arrangements, from simple cuneiform to high literature, we have all felt compelled to create and appreciate. Increasingly, science is making the connection that the arts have the ability to move you from sickness to health, mentally and physically, reduce stress, and bring a sense of well-being to your life. According to the book, Your Brain on Art by Susan Maximin and Ivy Ross, your very physiology can change through the arts. Scientists can now measure changes at the cellular level when you make, see, or add art to your life. Maximin and Ross tell us, think of the arts as an activity that changes your biology, your emotional state, and enhances your well-being. I'm a member of the art committee and the social justice team here at USR. I've noticed that social movements often, or nearly always, entwine themselves with the arts. Big protest songs, marches with communal singing, and searing artworks imbued with messages of injustice. Art can spread awareness on issues that we are not even aware of, awakening us to new perspectives. It's a unique way for understanding different points of view. Think of the AIDS memorial quilt that raised so much recognition of a scary disease and led to health policy changes. Let's look at a few examples of artworks that influence, mobilized, or shed a light on an injustice. Looking at Picasso's Guernica, we can feel the rage of arguably the world's most famous anti-war painting. This large art piece is a universal statement about the horrors and suffering of war, and was created to memorialize the death and destruction of the bombing of the town of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War. Ironically, it commanded its greatest attention with the advent of Hitler in World War II, cementing its reputation and universality on the devastation of war. It continues to inspire a multitude of artists across the globe in protest against war. How do you survive mentally if you are incarcerated for 28 years and held in solitary confinement for 22 of those years without knowing why? If you are Ojore Latalo and you are in Trenton State Prison, one way is to use your creativity through the means at hand, torn newspapers and magazines, to communicate with the outside world. Ojore did find out many years into his ordeal that he was put into a special unit in solitary confinement for his radical ideas as an anarchist and was perceived to be a dangerous influence to other inmates. In 2023, members of the racial justice team met with Ojore at the Schomburg Center for Black Culture to view an exhibit of his collages and chat with the artist. Since his release, Ojore has teamed up with the American Friends Service Committee Prison Monitoring Team, with whom he travels and advocates for prison reform. His collages have been exhibited at shows at NOMA, PS1, and the Yale Institute of Sacred Music. Street art often uses humor and irony to awaken us to injustices and offer a new perspective. Thank you. No one is more masterful at this than British street artist Banksy. Although communication guerrilla, Banksy frequently uses his artistic skills to express his defiance against authority and law enforcement. In this piece, Stop and Search, he puts an innocent Dorothy being searched by an officer in over-the-top riot gear. It brings to mind New York City's Stop and Frisk program, which was shown to disproportionately target minorities and was found to be an unconstitutional practice. Art communicates, art enhances, and art creates community. It also opens our eyes and serves as a catalyst for curiosity and change. Be on the lookout for what messages art can bring to you.
Today's reading is from John Dewey from his book, Art as Experience. Every art communicates because it expresses. It enables us to share vividly and deeply in meanings. For communication is not announcing things. Communication is the process of creating participation, making common what had been isolated and singular. The conveyance of meaning gives body and definiteness to the experience of the one who utters, as well as to that of those who listen.
Good morning. My name is Hetty Hirschman, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. Sharing the vision. One of the promises we make to each other in our shared covenant at USR is to support this congregation with our presence, gifts, and service, and to care for each other in the long-term well-being of our community. Our caring team helps us to care for one another. We'd like to remind you each Sunday that this team can be reached by calling the office and speaking to Anne. You can let her know if you want to share a celebration or if you have a need that this congregation can meet. The work of the caring team is vital, so please also let us know if you want to participate in that work. We care for the long-term well-being of our community by investing in the vision of justice and freedom that we share. We remember that it will take all our different talents, gifts, and support to make this vision a reality. I do have a couple of announcements. First, please pick up your pledge packet. It's right there on the table following the service. In addition, please come to the potluck that's going to be in fellowship and the entertainment that will start before that. For the month of March, the Share the Porch campaign is our third year Soul for Souls shoe drive. We are collecting shoes for the Souls for Souls organization, which provides micro-business opportunities for third world people. They sell, refurbish, and use shoe parts to create footwear and earn income. Clean out your closets and drop them off on the Reed porch in the month of March. Any shoes are acceptable. You can use dirty cleats and single shoes. Thank you. We uphold our covenant by our annual and our weekly giving. The offering will now be given and gracefully received.
Throughout the month of March, we will be hearing from USR members about why they support USR. Today, longtime member Bob Jones will be sharing.
I think it's kind of cool, we're going to have Unitarian altar calls. Anyway, I want to share a brief story with you. The rest of my remarks you're probably going to forget, but I really hope you take this story with you. One bright sunny day, Tiny Dragon was riding on the back of Giant Panda. They were having the best day. After a bit of time, Tiny Dragon asked Giant Panda a question. Giant Panda, which is more important, the journey or the destination? Without delay or hesitation, Giant Panda responded, the company. I'm a member of the Unitarian Society because of you, the company, our community, its members and friends. The community that the USR was when I joined, is today, and I hope will be in the future. There's a positive energy that is created when we gather. It is at times inspiring, at times gives me pause to do some very needed self-reflection. I've been a member of the Society for the past 37 years. My experience is that your company at these Sunday services, as a volunteer, as a participant in programs, I've learned. I have been challenged, I have been moved to action. In this community, I've experienced caring and compassion, and I've shared personal joys and deep sorrows. It was not my idea to come here. I married a Unitarian. In fact, we were married in this room. I had wedding pictures of that stained glass window dragon over our head at the wedding. I told Marion that I would come with her, but don't expect me to get involved. Then, over a period of a few months, I got to know many members. I got to know who they were. More importantly, I got to know how they were in this world. I liked the people, I shared the values, and enjoyed the Unitarian Society. I found that in this society, we truly do share 7 core values, beginning with a commitment to the inherent dignity of all people and the worth of all people, concluding with our belief in the interconnected web of all existence. One of the biblical authors, James, wrote, your faith will be known by your works. Although I wouldn't use the word faith, the values and character of the members of this community are shown in our many works, and I still like the people. A brief, quick theological point I want to make. I have a very strong belief in one specific theology that is really at the core of the web that holds this society together. It is my absolute belief in the theology of the boiler. We need a boiler. We need rooms in which to gather. We need heat. We need air conditioning and staff to support us, to inspire us, need to clean up after us. Our staff deserves to be paid fairly for what they make possible for us. That is why I've been an active member of this society and why I made an annual pledge for the past 37 years and why I plan to do so again this week. Thank you, and wherever you're going, enjoy the journey in the company.
Hello everyone, my name is Dan Summer. I'm one of the newer members of USR here. I want to thank Carol and Marilyn for inviting me to be part of this service today. There's really so much to be said about this topic. As you can see, I'm wearing the screen today. I have one as part of the occasion. This image and several images that pop up, I just did right before coming here. I'm just joking. As a child, I turned to arts, and it was a distraction at the time, as I frequently doodle on the cover and inside of those old, if you remember those old black and white notebooks that you had in class, I would doodle in those and fill in all those spaces. Composition, exactly. Although my childhood wasn't entirely stressful, image making helped me self-regulate and enter a world of fantasy. Over the years, I realized I was an average artist and didn't feel I was strong enough really to be in any prestigious art galleries or to make it in the art world. I was not sure which direction to go regarding my career path, and luckily I had a wonderful art teacher in high school, Mr. Gaines. He told me about this thing called art therapy. It was something I'd never heard of before, but after conducting some research, I began volunteering at an outpatient program with mentally ill adults. I made the decision to pursue art therapy as a profession. I went to Hofstra for my master's degree, and after I graduated, my brother gave me a little illustration with the words, "Off to heal the world" on it. I didn't have such grandiose thoughts at the time, but I realized that yes, art itself can heal the world if we allow ourselves to immerse ourselves in it. As I began working, I realized the power art had on the human psyche. I felt honored to witness individuals' recognition of their personal symbols in their art as a way to gain greater self-awareness toward the journey of personal transformation and healing from distress. It wasn't until later in my career and entering my doctoral program that I realized the power dynamics in art therapy or in any form of counseling. Many of the individuals I worked with were Black, brown, immigrants, non-binary, LGBTQ, having a visible or invisible disability. Learning about these power dynamics helped me understand more the lived experience of these individuals, even if I had never been in their shoes. I moved away from being a colorblind therapist and toward a new level of consciousness. Continuing on this journey, I've learned how art can be used as a form of resistance. Artists didn't just paint pretty pictures of sunny days and purple mountains. Artists create what they feel and what they see. Art as resistance is a form of confronting societal dominant narratives, using art as a platform to interrogate one's own biases and respond to injustices towards individuals and communities, as well as speak out against governments and other oppressive forces. There are a few examples, including the grant which you saw earlier. I'll just read. Breonna Taylor's image on the Robert E. Lee statue in Virginia, which is right there. Faith Ringgold's United States of Attica, which was a response to the horrible conditions at Attica, where many inmates revolted. And her image also addressed injustices towards Blacks, Indigenous people, and the war in Vietnam. And then Basquiat's paintings explored race and the challenge of being seen as a relevant artist in the 1980s, at a time dominated by white male artists. Basquiat is an example also of outside art. Outside art is non-trained artists who are able to find space in small art galleries, not necessarily the large art galleries as well. But anyway, these images force us to watch and demand us to feel. Whatever you are feeling at that moment, regardless, the image stays with you. So at a recent art therapy conference in Minneapolis, in 2022, I stepped away from the activities on a very cold winter day and took a cab to the George Floyd Memorial. I felt like an outsider. I was struck at a makeshift graveyard naming many of the Black people killed by police officers. The memorial itself was extremely powerful. And I remember feeling sad and angry, but also confronted by the magnitude of these psychical tragedies. I walked by Cup Foods, where there's a mural on the ground where George Floyd died. Makeshift memorials and murals surrounded this area, Black Lives Matter flags, signs of unity. It was not only a memorial for George Floyd, but a sacred place of grief, sorrow, resilience, and community. I learned that even during these times of chaos, extreme violence, there can be peaceful protests in the face of grief, and healing through creative means allows communities to transform. This business impacted me on different levels, especially as I saw art as a sacred, personal, and ritualistic process, where even within the duality of comedy and tragedy, art making is a form of ceremony that can elicit feelings of joy and discomfort for the art's viewer. This aesthetic quality has always been fascinating to me. The deeper we look at something, the more meaning it has for us. The lesson I learned was, for us to better understand others' perspectives, we have to move out of the bubbles we were born into. Art can be political and a disruptive force. When we feel impassioned about something, we respond in ways that can't always be put into words. Even when our passions run so deep that we need to let it out somehow. James Baldwin once wrote, "Artists are here to disturb the peace," which I strongly believe in. By digging deeply into our innermost feelings and releasing the light and darkness can be liberating. That's what I love about art therapy, but also the creative process. It is transformative, which leads to finding a sense of freedom and liberation from our thoughts, feelings, and other sources of oppression that might hold us back. Yet, besides the lightness and darkness in our world, there is beauty in art, especially when we take in our planet with great intention. One of the biggest lessons I learned from here since joining USR was from Reverend Sarah, as she inspired me with her teachings on becoming more eco-conscious, taking care of the planet as it takes care of us, and noticing how we are interconnected, yet how small we all are here. When there's time for contemplation, there can also be greater integration of mind, body, and spirits, or the true essence of being human, leading to a greater awakening of the senses. What a gift to feel alive and see how the planet was created as a form of art. Even though desecration and industrialization has occurred, there's still natural beauty filled with symbols that provide some meaning and purpose for us. So, as you can see, art can be transformative in many ways. It makes us feel good to create, it makes something out of nothing. We can become empowered by having others witness the creative process and comment on how nice an image may look, or allow ourselves to feel disgusted by it, by both the creator and the viewer. Art transcends boundaries by exploring social issues, and is not just limited to being in a prestigious art institution. Art making can be a form of survival. I don't have the images of her or her work, but Friedel Dieter Brandeis was an artist from Austria who was sent to Auschwitz working with children who were in the camp and used arts to find beauty even during those times of horror. This is even more relevant to secretly defying artistic censorship in Nazi Germany, or even more recently, cancel culture for freedom of expression. In war-torn conflicts, children and adults make art to process their experiences, giving them greater voice. Art gives voice to the voiceless or makes one more visible. And lastly, art provides accessibility. Not necessarily to enter art institutions for everybody, but to at least find materials in nature or simple crayons that foster creativity in different spaces. As I continue through the lifespan, I notice the changes within myself evidenced here by this portrait. Although there's less hair on my head and I see myself getting older, making art continues to elicit curiosity, leading to personal transformation, compassion, and openness. So, on your seat next to you, you'll see this tangled ball of emotions. What do you need? So this is a mandala. Mandala is a circle, obviously. It can represent a variety of different meanings. I often feel like it represents one's sense of wholeness and presence and integration. But with this hand up, as you see, there are a variety of different emotions. Feel free to take this with you and see where you are right now in the moment. You can use different colors on here, and sometimes it's really hard to differentiate emotions, so hopefully this can help you with that. Thanks.
I'm Carol Wolf, and I've been a member here for almost 20 years. I help curate the art shows at our Cottage Place Gallery and help out with graphics and flyers in our art camp. So the theme for this year's pledge drive is Celebrate USR. And I say, what better way to celebrate USR than to celebrate our incredibly creative, talented members. I was so overjoyed with the enthusiastic response when I asked members and friends to share their artwork in the gallery this month. And I just like, let's just give everybody a great applause. This space, this sanctuary, was literally designed to inspire. We hear inspirational words from this pulpit. The ceiling here was designed to enhance the acoustics of the amazing music we hear every week. And we can thank one man for the aesthetics that transformed this room into a really unique, special space. I never had the pleasure of meeting longtime USR member Tony Dolores, but we see his artistic vision all around us here in Anderson. He was an important artist, well known for his work in the WPA during the Great Depression. But my first encounter with his work was walking in and seeing our beloved stained glass windows for the first time. Tony Dolores wrote these words: "As for the stained glass windows, in the morning sun, dinosaurs are engaged in a primeval struggle for survival. In the afternoon, the life-giving sun will be there, whatever will be the destiny of humankind." Symbolism enough. And you can see the light shining through the window this morning right now. He then goes on to talk about the renovation that took place here in the late 60s when he created the windows and this wooden sculpture, and the art gallery was set up in the back at the urging of Kim Patton. Tony wrote, "We hope the new has an element of universality, that the art of our new world view is inclusive and has a feeling of timelessness." This space was transformed by his art and by the presence of the gallery. We've seen the walls of the gallery empty at times as a result of the pandemic. But what a difference it makes when artwork is on display. I'm pleased to tell you that we have art exhibits planned until mid-June, and we are working on a schedule for next fall. I'm looking forward to getting back to the routine of meeting artists and helping them hang their work, because that process really inspires me. A solo show is kind of a big deal for an artist, and this space has provided that opportunity to dozens and dozens of local artists, members, and friends over the years. I've watched painters who have spent a lifetime producing beautiful work, who have had great success showing and selling their work in the context of food shows and smaller vendors. But when they see their work displayed all together in this beautiful space, a real transformation takes place. A transformation in how they see their work as a whole and themselves as artists. We've had shows featuring young artists at the very beginning of their careers, and that kind of real-world experience is beyond invaluable to them as they start out. And of course, we have the occasional group show, which gives us all a chance to share our creations with each other. I feel connected with people when they share what they made with me, and when I can share my work with them. Today is the last day of our USR group show Beyond View. I hope everyone on Zoom enjoyed seeing the work during Ron's special music. And if anyone in here in person hasn't seen it, I hope that they could have a chance to look at it for the entertainment and the lunch stuff. Thank you.
Please join in the words for extinguishing chalice. They will be on the screen. Extinguish the flame, may the love of truth, the warmth of love, and the energy of action burn bright in our hearts until we are together again. Sorry, a lot of creativity in this room. Thank you all for sharing your voices during the song, and also for having the art here on display. Beautifies the space. In closing, I just wanted to read a quote from Robert Henri, the author of the book The Art's Spirit. There are moments in our lives, there are moments in the day when we seem to see beyond the usual, become clairvoyant. We reach then into reality. Such are the moments of our greatest happiness, such are the moments of our greatest wisdom. It is in the nature of all people to have these experiences, but in our time and under the conditions of our lives, it is only a rare few who are able to continue in the experience and find expression for it. There will be there will be lunch in the back for potluck. There will be time for coffee and to look at the artwork before the entertainment that starts at 11:30.
I just wanted to add that regardless of whether you signed up in person or by email, everyone is included and invited. We have plenty of food coming, plus the things people brought. And there's going to be coffee and art, and then we have our entertainment from our own fabulous members and young members. Yes, I do. So please all stay and also pick up the coffee.